Hello and welcome to BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti, as we come towards the end of a season of firsts. The first time 10 teams have been in the league. The first time we've had 2 teams from the Welsh capital. And after this evening, we'll have a good idea if it'll be the first time a newly promoted team can make it through to the playoffs. We're in the East Midlands at Loughborough University for Loughborough students against Cardiff. It's 8th versus 9th. And the winner of this will take huge strides to getting to the business end of the season. It gives me great pleasure to welcome, joining me in the commentary position today, Peter Calvert, the Vice Chair of Loughborough Students RFC. Peter, you've actually been playing yourself today. How did you get on?
Went all right. 27 all against Warwick first, so happy enough with a draw, but we sort of let it go at the end for a victory.
Well, we're having a look at the home team here. Loughborough Students currently 9th position in the league. However, it was a massive win last week against Hartpury.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. We I don't know where we pulled it from, but it's the lads seemed to rally together and from great support on the sidelines, push through for a victory.
Well, we'll come on to that a little bit later, but here are the results from today. A victory for Exeter, and they'd have lifted the league title at Topsham, but Bath stay in the hunt, 21-34. A fantastic bonus point victory for the brothers, and Nottingham Trent, without a win since November, have turned that around today. 43-41 against Northumbria. That sounds like a humdinger, one of the matches of the season. Trent are at the bottom of the league, and that's where they're going to finish, and they're going to have a playoff to stay in the competition. But with scorelines like that against teams like Northumbria, that playoff shouldn't be too much problem.
No, not at all. And well, Trent, we remember at the start of the season, actually turned us over, so I'd see whoever's coming up to play against them will have a very tough time.
Certainly will. Also this evening, Cardiff met against Hartpury and Durham against Leeds Beckett, as well as Loughborough versus Cardiff, of course. That's what it does to the league table. Nottingham Trent, with that 22 points now, had actually miscalculated. They are still in the hunt to not get that relegation position, so very important for both Loughborough and Cardiff to pick up some points this evening. And the league race will go down to the final weekend of the season. Hartpury, with a couple of games in hand, they need to win them all with bonus points. Bath can win it right at the end, but Exeter have Cardiff University at home next week. A victory there, any kind of victory, bonus point or not, will guarantee them a second successive league. Well, we're counting down to kick-off. We're about 11 minutes away, and of course we must say thank you to our friends at Yoti for all their support of BUCS Super Rugby.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around all night now, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.
Counting down to kick off here. Loughborough Students against Cardiff University, both needing points to stay off the bottom of the table, but more importantly, needing a win to get that 8th place. And what comes with it is a playoff bow. Now, joining me, Peter Calvert, the Vice Chair of Loughborough Students RFC. Talk to me a little bit about the culture here at Loughborough, particularly the coaches who are in charge of this first team this evening.
Well, it's created very much as we call ourselves the Loughborough family. We try and keep it very close knit with building on relationships. That's the most important thing in us, that all the lads get to know each other as much as possible.
Well, we can see Nathan Smith down there in his first season with Loughborough Students. However, it's not him we caught up with today. Jacob Ford and Alan Wynne-Davis spoke to Adrian Battersby before kick-off.
Alan Wynne-Davis, great to have you here, and you've got a big match tonight against Loughborough.
Oh, certainly is. As I said, I think the pressure's certainly on them this week, I dare say. I think we had our pressured game last week. I think that was quite evident in regards to the scoreline. Quite a scrappy game, so our main focus to come up here is to enjoy ourselves and to try and put a performance in, and hopefully that'll be enough.
You've had an amazing season. Usually the teams who come into the BUCS Super Rugby first season pretty much flatline at the bottom. You've not really done that this year, have you?
I don't know, maybe careful what I say and be disrespectful here, but no, you're absolutely right. And if I'm being honest, we've worked out that we potentially left a lot of points at the first block. Consistency in regards to selection, we've had a lot of guys injured, but those guys are starting to come back. Unfortunately, it's the second block, really, but they've come back when we've needed them. So it's been a great second block since Christmas. The guys have worked really hard, if I'm being perfectly honest, during the Christmas time, which we all know, we call it holiday weight, shall we say, but they've all come back, as you said, and they've worked really hard.
Yeah. Is it one of those situations where we're coming towards the end of the season, you'd actually like to have a few more months of these boys because they're on fire at the moment?
I think so. It's a great performance template. You've got them in pre-season, a big block of rugby. They've got a mid-season, pre-season, should we say, and then we've got another block. So in regards to 18 games, maybe 1 or 2, I think that's great in regards to the development programme. And I think that showed over the last 2 years in regards to guys picking up pro contracts and developing. So just look at Leeds now. I mean, from what they were to what they are now, they're just steamrolling teams. So it's I wouldn't mind a few more games, but also as well, we have got a few tired bodies today. Last week was a tough old game, and just hope that the guys can play the game and not the occasion. But we've got a good senior group there, and as I said, came here 2 years ago, and I'd like to forget that day in regards to it being the quarter-final when we weren't in Super Rugby. So we know the atmosphere is going to be here. It's a fantastic place, and as I said, so really looking forward to it.
Finally, you just mentioned it's quarter-final. This is almost the last 16 match, isn't it? In that the winner of this game is almost certainly going to be finishing in 8th and will be in the playoffs.
It is, and if I'm being perfectly honest, our main focus was to stay in it this year. That was our priority goal. As a byproduct, potentially we could finish in 8th. Trent's thrown a massive span in the works today with a fantastic win at home against Northumbria. So, but like you said, that's a lovely luxury to have, is to be able to pull external players in to be able to compete at that level. They did it last week with us, and they were a different team. So and I dare say that again, maybe the pressure isn't massively on us, maybe at Loughborough a little bit. So hopefully that will work in our favour. But massively, as you said, it's quite pressured second block.
I do have one final question, because we don't get to speak to people with good rugby knowledge very often, but we've just seen he's over there. We've just seen Exeter have just lost to Bath. The league is up. You're going to be going down to Exeter, which could be a target. How nuts is this league?
It's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it's brilliant. I think some teams' defence is optional. Certainly today, as I said, I think it was 37-10 at half-time to Trent against Northumbria. So it is massively developed. At the end of the day, we could look at the fact that Loughborough are going to go to Bath next week. We go to Exeter. Today, we just focus on today and putting our fate in other people's hands in regards to getting victory. We row our own boat, and that's what we want to do today. And if we can row our own boat today and be successful, then 8th is great. Staying up is even more important.
Alan, it's been great talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. Cheers.
Jacob Ford, attack coach from Loughborough. We seem to interview lots of coaches here. Usually it's Jarrett or Nathan, but we've got you now. It's a massive match for Loughborough here today, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's a massive match. You know, they're a good team. We went down to Cardiff and we put in a good performance, and it was a tightly contested match. But in the nature of the league, you know, especially with the Nottingham winning today, it's it's a massive game. But you know, the lads know that we don't need to put any added pressure onto them, and we've had a fantastic training week. We've just got to bring that into the game today. Yeah. Recent results have been up and down. Yeah, it's quite strange to think that 4 or 5 years ago anybody would have said that Loughborough would not have been in the final at Twickenham. You know, you'd have looked at you crazy. But it's not been Loughborough that's gone on a dip. It's been the other teams that have really stepped up, hasn't it? Yeah, I mean, the league's fiercely competitive. You know, when I first came to Loughborough, I was pretty shocked at the standard of BSR. You know, the skill level's excellent. And, you know, at the same time, we compete in National 1. Which is challenging for us, but again, it's a fantastic challenge to have, and there's a lot of fluid movement between players, between the two squads, and managing that's probably the most difficult task here at Loughborough. But you know, we think we're getting that right in recent weeks, and hopefully with the squad we got out today, we'll put in another good performance. Just asked a question for an hour earlier, just to say that, you know, the results sometimes are quite incredible. Nottingham won, Exeter have just lost to Bath. I'm not sure who it was to, but they just lost anyway, and you know, the league is just upside down. You just can't predict any results in this league, can you?
No, exactly right. You know, every team we've played this year, you know, the standard's been, you know, the same throughout. You know, we had a very close game with Nottingham Trent in the first game, and they managed to get one over on us. So it just shows that we can beat anyone. You know, we've beat Cardiff Met here, Leeds Beckett here, and Hartbury last week. So it just shows anyone can beat anyone. And you know, when it comes to the playoff time, it means it's going to be very exciting. You know, we can go to the top of the league, and hopefully we could get a result in the playoffs. So.
Well, Jacob, thanks for talking to us here, and good luck.
No worries at all.
Well, two great interviews there from Adrian Battersby. He'll be putting me out of a job, but great to hear from Alan Wynne and Jacob there ahead of a massive game. And let's look at the starting lineup first. There's one change in the pack for Loughborough. Ripper Smith in for Andrew Bywater at 7. So Jared Leake, Jamie Harding and Osman Demon are at 1, 2 and 3. Sam Bailey and Archie McPherson in the engine room. Max Hill captains the side from 6, but he'll be wearing number 18. And then Sam Ripper Smith and Austin Wallace make up the back row. Will Lane and Alexander Cruz are the halfbacks at 9 and 10. Aaron Tate is at 11. Josh Lewis moves from 10 to 12. He's got James Spencer outside him. We've seen Spencer at 15 many times this season, but he's in the outside centre berth today. Sam Roberts comes in at 14, and Charlie Hudson replaces Tim Bittram at 15. It's an unchanged forward pack for Cardiff University after last week's 10-7 victory over Nottingham Trent. Carrie Davis, James Jennings and Freddie Barnes. In fact, I've just been handed a piece of paper. Freddie Barnes has been injured in the warm-up, so Dave Fellows comes in for him. That's the only change in the pack for Cardiff. Charlie Stonehill and Luke Waller at 4 and 5. Tim Wilson and Alex Everett, along with Gareth Ansell, make up the back row. Two changes in the back line from last week's win. George Thomas in for Griffiths on the left wing, and Hugh Roberts replacing Dyde at 12. So Owen Davies captains the team from scrum half. James Davis outside him at 10. Thomas on the left wing at 11. Roberts and Wall in the centres. Marcus Ramage, the try machine, on the right wing. And Owen Williams is at full back. Here come Cardiff University. They've hit some of their best form at the right time. They currently sit in 8th place in the BUCS Super Rugby table, and a win today would mean that they'd be the first team in the history to get promoted and follow that up with a place in the final 8. The subs for Loughborough then: Jamie Cox at 16, Sam Garvey wears 17, James Gallagher will have 25 on his back. Great to see him back in the Loughborough colours after a long injury. Dan Cuthbert, Andrew Bywater, Tom Walsh, Sam O'Leary-Blade and Tadju Atta for Loughborough. Cameron Lewis and Ed Thompson. Of course, Dave Fellows has gone into the starting lineup. Seb Herald, Greg Ramage, Josh Oakley, Sean O'Brien and Harry Griffiths make up the visiting bench. Well, Max Hill leads out Loughborough students. It's been widely regarded as their best performance here on the first 15 4G last week. 14-13, they were victors over Hartbury. Bearing in mind, Hartbury were coming off the back of a great win against Cardiff Met. And it very much seems like a winner-takes-all occasion this evening, Peter Calvert.
Certainly is. No, the lads will be well up for this after last week, and I'm looking forward to see the back row in action here tonight. The combination of Ripper Smith and Max Hill is going to be very exciting to watch.
Owen Taylor is the man in charge this evening. Cardiff will get us underway. We are at Loughborough University, where history begins for BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. It's round 17, and there's James Davis. Cardiff in the black jerseys with the red trim, kicking off to Loughborough in the African violet with the pink and white chevron. And that's a first touch there for Alexander Cruz. Interesting to have him in at 10 today. We've become accustomed to Josh Lewis, should I say, in that 10 jersey.
Certainly, no, but it's nice to see the adaptability of the lads, been able to jump in and out at certain position. And Alexander's a good man to come in to do the job for us tonight.
Well, that's loose, and that's straight into the hands of Osman Demon. Big prop forward, loves a carry. First touch for Will Lane. There's Wallace in the orange scrum cap at number 8 today. It's quite a big carrying back row for both teams today, as James Spencer tries to wriggle free, goes out of the back door, but that's straight into the hands of Hugh Roberts, given the starting berth today. Selected ahead of Dyde, who was at 12 for the 10-7 victory, a tense victory over Nottingham Trent. They look to be finding some form. They haven't given up hopes and aspirations of the playoffs. However, results very much have to go their way. The team that does finish in 10th place in this BUCS table will face the winner of Swansea University against Newcastle. Newcastle in the playoffs. That's a good take there from the outside half. Newcastle in the playoffs for the second time in successive seasons. They came unstuck against Cardiff over 2 legs last year. It's over 1 leg this year.
All the way around.
And it'll be on the 3rd of April at Swansea University. Josh Lewis has been given penalty duty today. And that's a lovely break there. Nice nerve settler from James Spencer. The pass didn't go to hand, but these outside backs thrive on confidence.
Oh, certainly do. No, the lads will be looking to get good front foot ball to start off with, and then see where we can go from there.
Harding, first line up for him, and it's picked off at the back by James Jennings, who goes straight into Cruz, and Jared Leet has to make the tackle. He's got 1 man of the match performance here at the 4G, as that's first carry for Charlie Stonehill. Those of you that follow the league regularly will remember his fantastic commentary in the Cardiff University versus Met match when he was out with an injury. A chance of a turnover here. It's another penalty for Loughborough, the second in the first 2.5 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, and a chance for Lewis to get some territory for the home team.
Line's yours.
Lewis.
Black on the line, please. Thank
finds
you.
touch. The line you can see is the Cardiff 22.
2 balls, guys.
Young Ed Holden there, one of the physios for Loughborough Rugby.
Doesn't look young with that beard.
No, not at all.
Sam Bailey claims the line out. The drive doesn't quite come to fruition. And Lewis waits in at first receiver, incidentally, and Cruz, the inside ball, finds Sam Roberts. Lovely offload to Spencer into the 22. It's an exciting start from Loughborough. Demon waits, but instead they go to the backs, trying to put Hudson through the gap. But that'll be advantage in Cardiff. Oh, look at that massive bump. And away up the left-hand side now with the offload coming in too. This is what Cardiff have made a reputation on this season, running from inside their own half, and amazing how quickly they can relieve the pressure with shots like that. Here's Marcus Ramage, gets the offload away. The try-machine Ramage, expect to see plenty from him. And this is the first time Cardiff having the opportunity to get the ball in hand, hitting the gap, the offload to Carrie Davis into the 22. All of a sudden the game's come alive. Josh Lewis trying to dish it, and the ball gone forward off of Loughborough hands, but Cardiff really giving us a glimpse of how dangerous they can be.
Certainly, no, they've made something from it, absolutely nothing here. You can see this massive bump going in on Will Lane. No, strong carrying from them, and you can see there's plenty of space out wide for them.
Tell me if you're happy with the set, boys, okay?
And now we get our first look at the scrum set piece. Front rows for both teams. We've got Leet, Harding and Demon for Loughborough, Davis, Jennings and Fellows. Let's have a look at this movement from Cardiff there. Beautiful ball and the offload as well. Ansell finds Carrie Davis, and Charlie Hudson dishing a good shot there.
Set! Nice, down on the mark.
Well, this will be an exciting occasion here at the scrum, certainly. Scrum certainly this evening. No, we try here at Loughborough. We try and make every scrum an occasion, so the lads will be well up for it this evening.
A couple of visits to the East Midlands ago, we had James Gallagher, who's on the bench today, in the commentary position, and I don't think I've ever met anyone talk as enthusiastically about the set scrum as that man. But Cardiff with the put in here. Gareth Ansell offloads to the scrum half. Here's Owen Williams, looks outside into Ramage, drives towards the line. He's being driven towards the touchline, but manages to keep the ball in play. Cardiff now just 5 metres short, their first venture into the Loughborough 22 in anger, and a great platform is Alex Everett. Oh, lovely footwork there from Roberts under the sticks. The inside centre dances through, selected ahead of Tide, and he vindicates that selection by giving Cardiff University the perfect start. 6 minutes gone, Loughborough 0, Cardiff 5. Looked very easy there, plenty of Loughborough jerseys around. But Hugh Roberts picks a great line, dances through, and it's Loughborough 0, Cardiff 5.
No, certainly a strong line from there, and Loughborough looked a little bit shaken by that there, coming out the ball coming out the back. They didn't seem ready for it. Josh Lewis left treading water, giving them a very easy try underneath the sticks, and adding the conversion here now. Very easy.
Well, the easiest of 2 pointers there for James Davis. One of the most exciting 10s in the division. Quite a heavily strapped right knee. Still lots of rugby to come, of course. If they win here, they'll be favourites to get that final playoff berth. They can't finish 7th, neither can Loughborough, but they can finish 8th. Well, managed to get the shot in the end. Captured Hugh Roberts going over the line, but that's a great take from the restart. Austin Wallace for Loughborough. And he's driven out in the end, so that hard work goes to waste. A fascinating opening 7 minutes or so here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Both teams showing that they're going to throw it about a little bit. Loughborough with the one opportunity through Sam Roberts that got turned over, but Cardiff clinical when they got their chance.
Oh, completely, no, but it's really end-to-end right at this moment, though, so it's exciting to see what the next 70 minutes is going to bring.
Plenty of pressure from both sides at the line-out.
No, neither side seem to be shining at this area at the moment. Both seem to be finding ways to mess it up.
Okay, guys, both sides.
Forward again,
stable,
off a Loughborough hand.
No early wait, okay, stable, no early wait.
Second knock on in quick succession, so we get another look at the set scrum. Looked fairly even at that first instance.
Oh, certainly, no, they seem to be, no, both sides seem to be having a set solid. It's always an interesting occasion, especially playing on this 4G. It makes it a completely different experience in the scrum compared to on grass.
A better or a worse one?
In certain ways better, certain ways worse.
Well, Davis rolls the dice. Crossfield kick finds Ramage. Now it's on again for Cardiff. And Loughborough forced the penalty at the breakdown again.
You're in at the side.
Interestingly, that's the third penalty
on the ball, black 14,
in a similar situation. I wonder if this will be something that referee Owen Taylor has a look at, but James Davis, fearless in that 10 jersey.
And inside his own 22 as well, very impressive.
Well, Joe Burns described him as a random play generator, which was absolutely meant as a compliment. I think he might have taken offence at it, but players like him really do light up this league. Jamie Harding, shortened numbers in the line this time for Loughborough. And a better ball as well. Archie McPherson preferred at 5 today. We've seen him play at blindside flanker for the BUCS team this season. James Jennings has got hands on that. And this time it's Cardiff who forced the turnover as we approach 10 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
Let's go.
Tell you what, great crowd have come out this evening.
Oh, certainly. No, I think they may have been spurred on last week by the performance of the lads, so I think everyone's excited to get down here, especially around this area. It's right in the centre of campus. It's always a popular Wednesday night decision before a Hey You.
The less said about that, the better.
Certainly.
Interesting, Alexander Cruz in the scrum half position at the set piece, and has been since it's gone Cardiff's way. But a couple of scrums now, Cruz has been standing at 9.
Yes, certainly, and Will Lane standing in at his position. No, it's an interesting choice, so I wouldn't know why that would be, but maybe it's protecting something off Mr. Cruz, but we're not sure yet.
Owen Williams with the touch finder takes Cardiff up over the 10-metre line, back into the Loughborough half. 2 other matches going on at the same time as this. They'll be approaching half-time now. Cardiff Met entertain Hartpury at King Coyd. Hartpury, of course, the victors a couple of weeks ago in the reverse fixture. Durham host Leeds Beckett as well. That's a mouth-watering fixture. Both of them just about vying for top 4. The top 4 in the league guarantee themselves a home playoff draw. 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th will play their first round away. Charlie Stonehill takes a great line-out ball, and Cardiff rampage forward again. They've got the penalty advantage too after Alex Everett carries well, been knocked forward by Davis.
Side entry.
Penalty count racking up for both sides a bit here. It's discipline hasn't been very good in this opening quarter.
That is the observation of Peter Calvert, Vice Chair of Loughborough Students RFC, joining us in the commentary position today. The latest score from King Coyd is that Hartpury were 10-0 up. That was after 30 minutes. There'll be a little bit more rugby played now. Hartpury currently on 49 points after 15 games, so they can finish on a maximum of 64, provided they get 3 bonus point wins. Exeter on 62 after today, so the cards still very much stacked in favour of the Green Machine. Back-to-back losses going into the playoffs. That will not please Keith Fleming or his charges, but it'll certainly ignite hope in the rest of the division as we march towards Twickenham on April the 10th. Cleaner line-out this time from Cardiff. Again, it's pulled down and legally, says the referee, so neither team has been able to get the drive going in these opening 13 minutes. Bailey up to make the hit and meet the man, Tom Wilson. It's been a real architect of Cardiff's rise on the inside ball to Rod Wall. Wall was the man of the match when Cardiff played Cardiff Met. Again, good lift from Loughborough. Jamie Harding this time the man to shorten the gap and make the tackle. Suggestion of offside from Max Hill, but no, says the referee, and another strong carry from Wilson. Backwards, says the referee, as Ansell takes over. Pass in behind, Hugh Roberts looking for a second try, takes Cardiff to within 10 metres. Josh Lewis adds some weight. Has that gone forward? No, that's 2 Cardiff have got away with now.
Use it!
Deep inside the 22, though, a great opportunity for the visiting side to extend their lead. The Hugh Roberts try and the James Davis conversion separate the 2 teams after 14 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cardiff looking comfortable on the ball, but Ripper Smith comes up, makes a good collision.
Good.
Still good patience been shown here by Cardiff, though. No, they're shot.
Backwards.
Oh,
again, it's gone backwards. And Cardiff throwing caution to the winds here. They're all the way back to the 10-metre line, but they're still in possession through Carrie Davis. They've lost 25 or 30 metres there. Charlie Stonehill gets the ball away. Owen Williams just had Cruz to beat. However, this time the referee does call them back for the forward pass. But a frenetic period of play there. That was the first one that I thought could have gone forward, but the referee giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Certainly you can see the danger here coming posed by Cardiff. They can going back 25 metres, as you said, but they're still managing to pick a gap very easily, and that gone to hand slightly backwards, they're looking in for another 5 points possibly.
Well, Alexander Cruz is all over the pitch at the moment. He's lining up at scrum half in defensive scrummages, and he was lining up at 15 there with Charlie Hudson coming into the line. So it's a busy old boy, the Loughborough number 10. Good scrum here from Cardiff as well.
Very strong.
Forcing Loughborough backwards, as we'd expect from an Alan Wynne Davis coach team. And look at that as well. They are up for this. Cardiff University, make no mistake, they've already got 1 victory over Loughborough this season when they played down at Llanrumney a couple of weeks ago. We'll have a great view of this here. As soon as the ball goes in, look at Cardiff put the power down.
Pressure going through here. No, you can see Jarrett, I think it's Osmond Demon there. He's having a real hard time of it, trying to even keep himself down there, keep himself pressed through.
Well, he's up against Carrie Davis today, and Osprey's under 16.
Yes, and even with Freddie Beans out there, and Dave Fellows stepping in. Appears to be no change whatsoever.
Here's the chance for Cardiff then. Jennings, first job done, finds his man. Can they get the drive going this time? Jennings has it at the back. Oh, this is close, this is good. This is a second try for Cardiff. James Jennings takes them up to 12. And it's finally clicked from the set piece for Cardiff University, and they lead Loughborough 12-0.
No, an absolutely fantastic set there from them. Now you can see clear line out ball, and Loughborough failing to try and stop the drive. But at that stage there, with a team as fired up as this, it's going to be hard to stop them.
Well, it was a great opening 5 minutes from Loughborough, but since then it has been one-way traffic. In the build-up to this, Cardiff said that last week against Trent was their pressure game. And I had a feeling that prior to tonight, it would be the team with the coolest heads who'd come away with the victory. And at the moment, that's Cardiff University. Hugh Roberts and James Jennings. 2 scores for them. And they're 1 point ahead of Loughborough in the league at the moment. So if they could get a bonus point, that would be huge. Here's Davis. Tries to draw that one in. It shaves the post and stays out. So the score remains Loughborough 0, Cardiff 12. In round 17 of BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti and Peter Calvert. This was not in the script for the hosts.
Not in the slightest, no. It's a form we've had over this whole season, that we seem to bring ourselves to the big games, but then as you say, we've gone to sleep here in the last 10 minutes after a very strong start.
Spencer gets us underway again. There's the challenge on the kick-off. Scrum advantage to Loughborough. And Austin Wallace making himself a real pain from those restarts.
Certainly is. No, it's a huge focus point that a lot of teams that you'd see ignore, but it's absolutely crucial that you secure the ball right after a restart. It's the most important part, getting that exit. But now Loughborough, a real good opportunity here. Let's see what they can do with it.
All right.
That line in your shot is the Cardiff University 22.
Stand up. Okay, listen. We're head on head that side. We must set left and we must have space. Okay.
And we'll have another go at this. It's on the side of Jared Leet and Carrie Davis.
Crouch.
Sorry, Jared Leet and Dave Fellows, should I say.
Set.
Oh, it's popped out of the side. And a Loughborough penalty this time, hands on the head of James Davis. And what's the choice here? It's a kickable penalty.
One, angle, step left.
I'm a man saying let's test them, let's take them into the corner. And that appears what we're doing. But
that's exactly what they're going to do. Josh Lewis having another look at this.
No. Just the edge of that line, lads.
Certainly appears like Osmond Demon's well up for this. You could see a few words being exchanged after that. I'm sure they're not very pleasant, but
number 1 black.
That's what happens when you're in the front row. The dark arts seem to creep out no matter what.
Someone, when you're ready, black, yeah.
We've got a change for Cardiff University following that scrum penalty. Carrie Davis is going to take a breather. And a huge opportunity for Loughborough. Their first since conceding that opening try, and again the maul not going forward until now. Archie McPherson in the mix, counting the boys forward, and here goes Jared Leet at the back. Sam Bailey looking to get his hands on the ball. This has been a real strength of Loughborough this season. Bailey for the line. The referee having a good look at it.
Is it detached? Okay.
And Owen Taylor having a real chat with his assistant here.
If it's detached, then it's not rolling.
Let's take a look at this.
So I think what he's saying here is that Sam Bailey's detached from the maul and gone himself.
Which so he clearly has.
And so therefore not a maul, and it's simply they must have advantage for something because he's called a penalty. So here Loughborough go again. Let's see if they can bring the fire that Cardiff brought down the other end.
And they've scored a few tries in similar positions this season. They've also been epically slow starters. There's the counter-ruck from Cardiff. Luke Waller making a real pain of himself, but Loughborough starting to march forward. But Cardiff bring it down, but they're over the line. Loughborough, through Austin Wallace, have got their first points of the match. Loughborough 5, Cardiff 12, and Wallace gives them a lifeline.
Now hopefully that'll kick the boys on, spur them on to get going here after that slow start that we've had.
Let's take a look at what happened here again. You can see Wallace literally barging McPherson out of the way. Sam Bailey for support. James Jennings gave it a good go, but could not stop the Loughborough number 8. And boy, oh boy, did they need that.
Certainly did. No, it's as you say, it's not the way we scripted, but hopefully the boys can kick on from here.
Well, look at a great view of this. James Davis, first pot at goal for him. Sorry, Josh Lewis.
Retaining the kicking duties from last week.
To take Loughborough to 7. Tries to draw it in. Oh, it's off the post. And it remains Loughborough 5, Cardiff 12. Let's take another look at this try.
Now, you can see Austin peeling off around the outside here, and just in that low body position, it's very hard to stop him from there. He's an incredibly strong boy. You catch him here in power base as often as he can, getting that strength conditioning in.
I'm sure that's the only reason. Well, Loughborough let that one bounce, and Cruz puts the left boot to it. And a good kick as well will take them back up to halfway. Interesting mix at 10 and 12 as well, with Cruz's left boot and Lewis's right boot. They've not really utilised that so far, but that will give them options.
It certainly does. No, and then obviously you've seen it a little bit of interplay, having two playmakers out there. It makes it certainly an interesting choice of what we can get up to. But
at the moment, it's Cardiff doing all of the playing.
Certainly. Strong line out.
Well, the set piece seems to be a little bit more settled now than it was at the start. Both teams perhaps feeling the nerves, and that's a monster carry. Here come Cardiff again, putting quick hands on it, and Ramage, the right winger, he is a flying machine. I think he's copped for one there from Alex Cruz as well.
Nothing.
Could be trouble there. Was that a touch high? Interesting what Owen Taylor's got to say about this.
It seems to be coming in, flying in hard.
Just drop back for me.
We'll see what happens here, if we can get a replay off it.
Let's find out. Sorry.
Well, we're going to get the benefit of this. The referee isn't. He was just off balance there. It's come off the top of the head.
Scrum.
Just a scrum given.
Changes.
Which is good refereeing, I'd say.
Certainly, no. It's always a hard one to tell out there, and making the decision off the back of that when it's hard to see. It's good refereeing, and Loughborough may be lucky to get away with one there.
Carrie Davis coming back on for Ed Thompson. Davis was replaced after Cardiff conceded that scrum penalty, remember?
This side. Come on.
Good view of the Loughborough bench there. Look pretty relaxed at the moment.
Guys, time's not on yet. Time is not on. Okay.
There's that face for radio, James Gallagher lurking in the background.
We've got a score update from half-time at King Coyd. It's Cardiff Met 5, Hartbury 10. Remember, Hartbury need a bonus point win if they're going to stay in the hunt to win this championship. And Cardiff Met need some points if they're going to get in the top 4. It's so clustered there at the moment. So you've got Hartbury currently on 49 points in 3rd, Cardiff Met on 48 in 4th, Durham on 47 in 5th, and Northumbria on 40. Sorry, they've already played today, and they got a bonus point, 2 bonus points in fact, so they're up to 46. So Durham certainly still in the hunt for that top 4 berth.
Crouch. Bind.
So if the league finished tomorrow,
Set.
then it would be Cardiff versus Exeter at Topsham in the quarter-final. And I think given the last couple of weeks, either Loughborough or Cardiff would certainly be more confident, as we've got a clean break here. Into the 22, that's the danger. Off the wing. And again, Cardiff fly forward. James Davies puts the grubber kick through. And Cruz has it covered.
22, play on.
But Ramage straight up off the ground there. Took that shot from Cruz. Just shows how dangerous he is.
Great break here.
It's just a missed tackle, isn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as the tackle's missed, really takes some bringing down. Spencer in the end making a good tackle.
Here he is taking the drop kick. So
onside, purple.
We've got a range of kickers coming out here this evening for Loughborough anyway.
Yeah, we've got Cruz kicking in open play. We've got Lewis
kicking off one side and
Spencer on the other. Here's Ripper Smith in the black scrum cap. Very dangerous ball carrier himself. Advantage coming here. Cardiff a little bit eager at that breakdown as Charlie Hudson is brought down by Jennings. Still advantage for Loughborough, and they're going to look to run this from deep. The pass a little bit loose, and Archie McPherson gets dumped down. Still advantage. Jamie Harding.
Cardiff boy down
Use
here.
It!
Yeah, it's Owen Davis, the captain as well, so they won't want to lose him. Hudson, second carry in short succession for him, brought
Guys,
down by Davis.
Playing around
and
the mark, okay? Number 8 is off back feet.
For the penalty, Gareth Ansell, the guilty party.
Number 8 black, you're off your feet.
15 minutes to go in the first half. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. If you're just joining us, you've missed 3 tries. Hugh Roberts got the first for Cardiff. Yeah. Jennings got the second.
That was yours, boss.
So we see a rarity there, a genuine block.
No, certainly it's not. It's not something you see very often, but it's always exciting to mix it up every now and then, isn't it?
Oh, a bit of fun.
Oh, yes.
So, yes, Roberts and Jennings, the try scorers for Cardiff. Wallace closing the gap for Loughborough, who at the start of play were 1 point behind Cardiff in that quest for the top 8. Leeds Beckett are long gone. They're playing against Durham, up in Durham this evening. Fascinating game that is. Bearing in mind, Leeds Beckett were bottom of the league before Christmas. Now they're undefeated in 6, 5 bonus point wins, and they came back from 29-3 down to draw 29-all last week. Which way is the referee gone with that one? Knock on against Loughborough. Quite a few handling errors.
Certainly, and it's been a fairly clear, dry, not very windy day, so it's not what you would expect out there, but maybe with a bit of dew setting down might get a bit greasy. There is the chief.
Well, you talked about the Loughborough family earlier. I think he's pretty much graduated to granddad status these days. He's been around for so long. Here is the captain, Owen Davis. Didn't stay down for long. He was flat on his back, injured a few minutes ago. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
Talk to me your side.
Still lots of live rugby to come. We're down at Topsham next week for Exeter versus Cardiff University, and that could be fascinating because Cardiff will still, no matter what happens here, they'll still need at least a point to guarantee themselves qualification, and Exeter will need a win to guarantee the league. Imagine if Bath or Hartpury could sneak up and snatch it off them on the final day. Hugh Roberts brought down on the halfway line. Wallace with hands on that, penalty advantage coming. A little bit too eager, the Loughborough try scorer. That's charged down. Again, dropped by Loughborough.
12 offside.
James Spencer this time. It was interesting. I was up here a couple of weeks ago on a freezing cold night when Loughborough lost to Northumbria here.
Yes.
And I put the handling errors on that occasion down to the conditions, but it snuck in this evening as well, and for this time of year these are about the best conditions you could hope for.
Well, certainly in February I think it reached up about 17 degrees here today, which is sort of unheard of.
Then, Purple,
you could easily be caught here in sideways wind with rain, but it's this lack of concentration it appears to be.
12 months ago, weren't we in the midst of the beast from the east? Wasn't it snowing?
I think it was, yeah. Well, how times change anyway.
That's a
contest. Cardiff doing very well there. Alex Everett picking up the pieces, and Cardiff can come again. Rod Wall wrestles away from 1 and 2. Still Rod Wall. Hugh Roberts there in support, and Cardiff back into the Loughborough 22. There's the big wide pass. Oh, monster hit.
Someone's grabbing a head. Someone's grabbing his head there. It doesn't look good. Referee reaching for his pocket as well.
Guys, go back. Listen. Okay. He's taking him up on the horizontal. He's landing on his shoulder. It's a yellow card.
Well, Charlie Hudson shown a yellow card as we approach half an hour. So Loughborough
15
will be down to 14 inside their own 22.
Okay. Lines the middle, guys.
Up until pretty much half-time. Well, we'll take another look at that, but I think the referee was in a great position to make a good decision. Cardiff looking to put quick hands on it. You had George Thomas off his wing.
More!
No,
I don't think.
No!
You're not getting away with that one anytime soon.
Certainly not, but here come Cardiff. Here's Carrie Davis down the blind side, and Jamie Harding having to work hard to make the tackle. 5 metres short as Alex Everett waits. Head down straight into Bailey. Good dominant collision from Bailey, and Ripper Smith takes his hands off it. Ansell, Luke Waller. Great position here for Cardiff again. Here's Hugh Roberts. As Cardiff look to come wide. Marcus Ramage from the right wing to the left wing. Owen Davis, the captain. Again, Cardiff disciplined. Loughborough stacking the open side, so there might be space on the blank. Great tackle there on James Davis. James Spencer in at 13 today as opposed to 15 where he's played most of his rugby this season. Making a good full-back's tackle. Osman Demon making the tackle this time as Cardiff still come. Work it out to the right this time. Hugh Roberts, the try scorer, has a little dart. Charlie Stonehill.
Tackle now!
Shot tackled by Max Hill. Now it could open up here for Cardiff. There's a 2-on-1, and George Thomas is going to get Cardiff's third. Another fantastic score from Cardiff. Patient build-up inside the 22. They knew they had the man advantage, and eventually it paid. George Thomas makes it Cardiff 17, Loughborough 5.
They certainly made that look fairly routine. No, lovely build-up, and everyone appears to be eager to carry at any occasion with 2 or 3 options, and then that lovely inside tight line from, I couldn't see who it was, but it was a lovely tight line. Just pull it out the back and made it an easy 2-on-1 to score in the corner.
Good finish from Thomas as well. He knew he was coming under pressure. James Spencer and Sam Bailey rushing across, but got himself airborne. And the impetus firmly with Cardiff. 12 points to the good now, with a man advantage as well. Davis to add the extras, drives them through the uprights. Great kick from the touchline. It's Cardiff 19, Loughborough 5.
No, it'll certainly be interesting to see how Loughborough rally themselves from here. It'll be a tough 8 or so minutes to play with 14 men, so we'll just have to see what they can pull out here.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cardiff in the driving seat to get to the playoffs. They're only 1 try away from guaranteeing themselves a bonus point. Then the impetus really is on Loughborough, because if they get nothing from this game, no win, no bonus point, then they are out of the race for the playoffs. And Cardiff will make history, becoming the first team who gets promoted in BUCS Super Rugby to reach the last 8 of the competition. Then next week against Exeter at Topsham could well be a dress rehearsal for the quarter-final that'll happen a couple of weeks later. Better line-out ball for Loughborough though. You'd be a fool to write them off. Is Cruz. Oh, lovely ball, just going to ground. Backwards, says the referee, so Hugh Roberts goes out the back door. Here's Rod Wall, and the danger coming from Cardiff. There's Owen Williams. Finds Ramage, who gets wrestled to the floor by Harding. Cardiff look deadly when they counter-attack. I mean, Loughborough have to throw caution to the wind to an extent here, but when they get punished like this, that'll certainly sow seeds of doubt in the mind. It's Cardiff back into the 22. Here's the try scorer, George Thomas.
Well, they've been called back. Must be forward pass, I'm assuming.
Let's see if we can tell what happens here. It was a lovely attempt from Cruz just around, and actually think Hugh Roberts might have knocked that a touch forward, but either way it was a try-scoring intervention. Look at Rod Wall.
No, you get, and like you've mentioned before, you can see that danger. One little change from one player and there's a 60-metre difference.
We'll be getting score updates from around the ground soon. Cardiff met against Hartpury. Last we heard, Hartpury were 5 points up at half-time. Durham hosting Leeds Beckett as well. And Hartpury still a little way away from the bonus point win they need, but Cardiff Met hanging on in there.
Stay on side, 9. Stay on side.
Hartpury have just retaken the lead after Cardiff Met equalised. Here's Austin Wallace. Another positive carry from him. Owen Davis chops him down at the ankles. As Max Hill does very well when he attacks the ball with momentum, but stood stock still that time.
Certainly a self-tackle there to try and keep it inside the 22, and hopefully Will Lane can clear his lines here.
Lane boxes up towards the halfway line, taken by Owen Williams on the line. He's got Marcus Ramage, finds Davis, who chips into space. It's a lovely kick that turns Sam Roberts. Doesn't quite find touch though. Roberts gets up to the 22.
No, it's still in, it's still in. Don't play the 9.
Trying to cause some carnage there. Archie McPherson with the carry. Arm around the head there from Dave Fellows. Referee happy to let them continue. Josh Lewis hoists that one high into the night sky, up as far as the halfway line, and Cardiff can counter-attack again. Owen Williams. George Thomas. Spencer with the tackle.
Good work.
Ansel. 4 minutes to go till half-time. 4 minutes to go on the yellow card as well. Jamie Harding leaving a shoulder in there, and here's Ramage on the right-hand side, gets through the first, the second and the third, looks for the offload, and again it's Jamie Harding trying to bring him down. They pull him down a metre short of the line. Surely it's on for Cardiff. It's another yellow card for Loughborough. They are hanging on here. Jared Leet is the latest to be sent to the bin. Well, it's a try-saving intervention. Has the referee gone under the sticks here?
Number 1. Offside.
No, he's simply given the yellow card, so a let-off for Loughborough at the moment. But they're down to 13.
They're calling the scrum. An easy decision with the front row off. They're going to have to bring someone out of the back row here.
Time's off for the change.
No, and Loughborough here failing to get 2 kicks out in the row, and you can just see how Cardiff have punished them here.
We still need another prop.
James Gallagher coming on to replace. Still got, I'd imagine, half of Northwest Leicestershire's available strapping on that right knee.
Certainly does. He's not coming on in the fashion that he'd like, but hopefully he can effect a change here that the Loughborough need, and hopefully maintain for the next 3 minutes while we playing with 13 men.
Last play, boys, so.
Oh, we've just been informed it is the last place. Oh, what a huge statement this could be for Cardiff if they can get over the whitewash and guarantee that try-scoring bonus point before half-time. For those of you Wondering quite why he's got so much strapping around. He was an integral part of this BUCS Super Rugby team before he got injured. Earned a penalty try and got a try himself against Exeter in the 17-all draw. But he went down pretty heavy at home in one of the live matches we were here for, actually.
So again, Nottingham Trent, yes, I believe, yeah.
Loughborough's biggest win of the season in terms of score lines.
Certainly.
Sam Bailey in your shot there had a great game that day, as did Josh Lewis, who's packing down at number 8 here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, the last play of the half. Loughborough down to 13. Cardiff 1 score away from a bonus point with a huge advantage here in the scrum. Watch Gareth Ansell adding his weight, being told to use it by the referee. They go to the blind side. Loughborough stop it to begin with. Austin Wallace making the tackle. But Cardiff not done yet. Ansell in at scrum half. Luke Waller puts his head down and charges forward, ably assisted by Charlie Stonehill. It's gone backwards and Hugh Roberts has to trot outside the 22. 1 score already. Busts through a tackle. Gallagher makes the tackle himself. Still last play. We're into stoppage time here. Lewis finds the fullback out of the back door. Stunning pass. Great finish. And that's the bonus point for Cardiff. George Thomas gets his second, and Cardiff running riot here in Loughborough. It's Cardiff 24, Loughborough 5, and Cardiff University are marching to the playoffs.
Certainly hard to watch as a Loughborough man, but you can't deny the determination and good play here, and excellent handling from the Cardiff side. And they appear just to be sliding off tackles very easily.
Well, Spencer went a bit high on Williams there. It allowed him to free the arm. Drew in 2 defenders. George Thomas held his width. He scored 2 fantastic wingers tries. And here's James Davis. Was the man of the match in the Welsh varsity at the Liberty Stadium this year. Drains a carbon copy of the conversion for the previous Thomas try. And at half-time here at Loughborough, it is a nightmare for the hosts. Loughborough 5, Cardiff 26. And Peter Calvert, your team are in deep trouble.
Yeah, it's certainly nowhere near the position we want to be in. But no. We're scraping for answers here at the moment, because this Cardiff side are certainly relentless would be the word I would use for this.
Half time here, Loughborough 5, Cardiff 26. 5 tries to look at in total. And let's start at the very beginning. It was a bright opening 5 minutes for Loughborough. They failed to convert, but the first time Cardiff visited their opponent's 22, this is what they came away with.
No, it's as I said before, Josh Lewis left treading water, and plenty of Loughborough hands to come through for to try and tackle, but the strong run from the 12 here, just to slide in underneath the post, easy 5 points, and the conversion to follow.
I think Osman Demon will be a little bit disappointed when he sees the replay there. He got a good shoulder on Hugh Roberts. This was the second one. If the first was all about the backs, this one was all about the forwards. And it was the first time we'd really seen the set piece click, because they were nervy line-outs for both teams at the start of the match. Yeah,
certainly you could see it. That neither team had actually got it firing at all. I'm not sure if that's nerves from then or either side just been able to disrupt it, but we see here, good set down, and they just push through. And this one followed up from Loughborough as well.
Yeah, this was Austin Wallace getting Loughborough's only points of the half. They came close just before when Sam Bailey broke away. But this time they managed to make it stick. Austin Wallace, he's had a good 40 minutes actually. He's been one of the shining lights for Loughborough.
Yeah, certainly. I'd mentioned the back row was certainly going to be influential in this, and certainly Austin's been the standout man. And it's hard not to stand out in an orange scrum cap like that. But
well, this was the first yellow card. Charlie Hudson just a little bit over-eager on George Thomas. To be honest, that spurred him on, because after being unceremoniously dumped on his backside, he scored 2 great tries.
Certainly, no, it's careless there from Charlie, but no, Cardiff obviously responded well here. Here we see easy 2-on-1, dive, cinematic dive to finish.
I went for the highlights reel. However, it was important to do that. He held his width.
Certainly. No, it's incredibly difficult to score there. I wouldn't know too much about that. I'm usually stuck in there trying to pick and go or something like that.
Doing all the hard yards, so men like George Thomas just can get the glory.
Exactly.
He was selected ahead of Harry Griffiths today, vindicated his selection. Now, he'll get his name in the ledger for this, but it was all about the work of Owen Williams. Finish from Thomas, but what about that pass out of the back door?
Incredible. No, like you say, Loughborough boys going in a bit too high, gets a good stiff arm on him and just frees that arm to give a great pass out the back. Makes it look easy, really, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Spencer just a little bit high there, and Aaron Tate wearing 11, but on the right wing, wasn't sure whether the tackle was going to be made, so gave George Thomas just enough space. 3 of those have been converted, so at half-time, Loughborough 5, Cardiff 26. So that is what's happening around the grounds. Bath with a bonus point victory at Topsham. They are hitting their straps at just the right time. And what about Trent? I mean, Northumbria, it's always entertaining, but not that entertaining.
No, and it's... If there was a score to be representative of this league this year, that would be it. A team you would think down and out, don't have much to live for in this league. Going up, and was that away or at home?
That's at home, Nottingham Trent.
Oh no, it's just bringing those Northumbria boys. They came down here and gave us quite a hiding. So they can show what they can do, but Trent fighting back well.
And of course, we've talked about Cardiff Met and Hartpury quite often. Hartpury closing in on that bonus point win, and Durham currently being nilled against Leeds Beckett. If that stays as it is, then Leeds Beckett will be just 1 point behind Durham. But with 259 points in 6 matches, who'd bet against Leeds Beckett getting even more? So that's the league table as it stands. If it stays as it is, then Cardiff guarantee themselves a place in the last 8, which would be a remarkable achievement in their first season. Northumbria and Leeds Beckett level on 46 points, but that cluster for the top 4, well, you could throw a blanket over any one of them. It's going down to the very last week.
Oh, it's certainly palpable, isn't it?
Absolutely. Still lots to play for from 1 to 9. And Nottingham Trent still keeping their hopes of not finishing bottom alive as well. We've seen some great tries already this evening, but let's have a look at some of the try lights from the last couple of weeks.
They're 2 metres out. George finds quick ball again. Finds Clementson, who puts the footwork in and gets across the line.
Come on.
Bennett plays it out wide to the winger, inside to the man we were speaking about moments ago, George Gladding.
tries of the week. I don't know which sort of try word.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and it's quite versatile as well.
Tries of the week. I don't know which sort of try word.
Welcome back to BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. Some stunning tries there from the last couple of rounds. And Loughborough need a few of those themselves because they are in a spot of bother here. They picked up 2 yellow cards towards the end of the first half, and they are already a bonus point down to Cardiff University. It's 26 points to 5 as James Spencer gets us back underway in round 17. James Gallagher's stayed on.
Oh, it looks like Jared Lead hasn't returned yet.
Release! No 4.
Yes, I think he'll have about a minute either side. So Loughborough still with 13 on the park at the moment. Already advantage over as it's gone forward again. Josh Lewis doesn't want to cough up possession there. Cardiff have already shown how dangerous they can be in a counter-attacking position. And now, with a 2-man advantage, expect this to have something put on it by James Davis.
Advantage is over.
That's the full-time score from Topsham earlier on. Bath condemning the champions-elect to their second defeat at home as Aaron Tate puts on some footwork. He really does have great feet. We've not seen a lot of him in this match so far. Cruz up to the 10-metre line. Sam Garvey on for Loughborough. Hartbury 30 points to 10 against Cardiff Met, so that is the bonus point in the bag. Now they just need to see it through. Garvey with the carry.
Penalty, number 7, high tackle.
Alex Everett with the high tackle. It's gone forward, so an early opportunity for Loughborough to turn the screw. They've got a couple of tries against Northumbria in this corner from the catch and drive a few weeks ago.
He'll be back on the line out, the first one.
Oh, there we go. Charlie Hudson, look, they said, hear the ref there just saying he'll be on. Here he is. And he should be raring to go. It's Max Hill off.
Well, Max Hill captaining in the side.
He's already on, Jake.
Currently sat on the bench.
All discipline, yeah?
That'll wind that young man up. He won't be happy to be sitting there. He won't be happy at his team, but he'll be back out firing.
Well, he's a bit of a firecracker, Max Hill, isn't he? Speaking of that Northumbria game, he picked up a yellow card in that one.
He did.
And here come Loughborough again.
Seven,
Austin Wallace. Alex Everett stops him.
Still there. Still there. Let it come.
Cardiff have managed to slow this down very well. Ripper Smith carried through. Manages to present the ball there. Here's Gallagher looking to put that 120-something kilos to good work. A metre short for Loughborough. This would be the dream start for them. Sam Bailey drives the legs. Good tackle by Luke Waller. Inches short for Loughborough. Sam Garvey gets over, and what a start for the home team. Still a man short, but they get the first try of the second half, and it's the replacement prop. Sam Garvey makes it Loughborough 10, Cardiff 26.
That's absolutely the start that the boys will be looking for. No, well, any side knows you've got to come out and make a statement first up, and that's exactly what we've done here. Happy to see it, but obviously plenty of work still to be done. 15 points down with the kick to come.
Well, he took the kick quickly, did Josh Lewis. It was successful, so Loughborough up to 12. It's the first successful conversion of the match for Loughborough's number 12. Let's take another look at this. Still a bit of work to do here for Sam Garvey, but great body position. Targeted the outside half as well. He had the big second rower Charlie Stonehill next to him, but went straight for James Davis. Picked up Loughborough's second try of the match. Dream start.
Sam Roberts picking it up there.
And now Loughborough looking to run it from inside their own 22, putting width on it as Cardiff did in the first half. Here's Spencer up over halfway, up over the 10-metre line, looking for the back door as well. Great break there from Loughborough's 13, straight up to the 22 through Aaron Tate. Here's Sam Bailey, needs to be careful not to be isolated. He's got Jamie Harding there in support. Oh, and now it's been turned over, and Ramage can put the afterburners on. Well, this is end-to-end stuff. Replacement Cameron Lewis is on for Cardiff. We're in number 16, as is Ed Thompson. So some front row changes for the visitors. It's Charlie Stonehill. Loughborough still down to 14 players, remember. Excellent. Whoa, I thought that was perfect weight on the kick there from Cardiff. I thought it was going to force Cruz to make a decision.
Well, they certainly seem to be very happy to keep the ball in play. They've been kicking even from their 22, and they've been keeping it in play and asking questions of Loughborough. What are you going to do? What are we going to do now? And where are you going to go? So they're not afraid to ask questions of anybody they play.
And when the play does break up phases and phases, that's when they're really difficult to play against, as Rod Wall runs.
They've been spreading the Loughborough defence very, very well, playing side to side.
It's Thompson with the carry. Here's Davis.
Still playing advantage, Black.
Tom Wilson runs it into contact, and there's a dummy from the scrum half, Owen Davis. Still penalty advantage for Cardiff here, so what's James Davis got up his sleeve? Little chip and chase from him, taken on the full. Very well by Hudson. He's back on the pitch after his yellow card. Alas, we go back for the penalty, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cardiff popped this one through the uprights as they're 2 scores ahead. Let's take a look at this counter-attack as well. This is what James Spencer's really good at.
No, certainly he's almost deceptive in his pace that he can get round someone like that. It's nobody, and also with his side, I would almost call him a Conrad Smith-esque type, weaving his way round people.
I tell you what, that's some praise.
Well, James will be happy I said that. He did. There was a few requests sent in this evening, but I shouldn't mention.
Scratch them all off the list. You don't owe any of them anything. Owen Williams goes for touch, and this is a massive statement from Cardiff. They could have kicked themselves to a 3-score lead instead.
Oh, they're happy to back themselves. Is that? I was wondering, is Max Hill back on yet? I can't.
No, I can't spot the worst haircut in Loughborough from here.
No, not at all. Goodness. Well, I don't know about that. James Gallagher with the shaved head. What's your opinion on that one?
I think Gally looks great, and he probably does it himself.
Oh no, I think so as well.
Whereas I think Max Hill probably thinks he's going to a barber, but he's actually going to a butcher.
Oh no! See, that's what the Loughborough brings out. It's everyone on a Wednesday night. It's always a big occasion. Okay, we're not performing, but everyone always comes down here, and we all have a good time.
Austin Wallace making his way to the touchline. That'll be worrying for Loughborough.
There's Andrew Bywater on now. He had a very big game for us last week against Hartbury. And
Ripper Smith steals in.
The ball's available. The ball's clearly available.
Will Cardiff rue that mistake, going for touch when they could have gone for the sticks?
Keep it on the foot.
Yes, Andrew Bywater started at 7 last week. Ripper Smith preferred this time round, and there's the charge down from Dave Fellows. Oh, that was tight. How often do we see those drop into the in-goal area and it's a foot race for the line?
Just relax, just relax.
No, it's there's
purple.
It's even with this setup, this new setup we're seeing nowadays with. We're seeing Austin Wallace here.
Yeah, Ripper Smith's head butted him, I think.
Never pleasant.
Good ball at the front there. Archie McPherson takes it under duress.
Oh, it looks like.
Good contact there. Cameron Lewis making the tackle for Cardiff. Bywater, first carry of the match for him. Josh Lewis gets rid under pressure. That's a monster kick from the 12 as well. From inside his in-goal area all the way up to halfway.
Yeah, bring him back on. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, here we are.
Get a great shot of this as well. He's under some pressure here, really threads the needle.
Oh, certainly.
Now he's got up to halfway through the tram lines, and we've received news that Loughborough are back up to the full contingent as well. So Cardiff failing to capitalise on that penalty, but they've still already got the bonus point as Charlie Stonehill nicks that one. Cardiff's lineup not quite ticking here. It's 2 that haven't been clean. Stonehill just about tidying that one up. Oh, massive bump there from Alex Everett as well. Cardiff put boot to ball early. Owen Davis trying to turn Charlie Hudson, who's going to have another counter-attacking run. Hugh Roberts, scorer of the opening try, finishes the job. Already nearly 10 minutes gone of this second half. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Thought that could have been high, but the referee, in a much better position than me, disagrees. Here's Cruz. Lewis.
Here goes Sam Roberts.
Plenty of pace on it from Roberts.
13, high tackle.
Cardiff need to be careful here, because that's a few of those sneaking in. Rod Wall, the guilty party this time. He's really dangerous. Ball in hand is Rod Wall. Fact.
Owen. From you.
There's another good kick from Josh Lewis, getting us right into the corner from the 10-metre. Well, very close
Time's
to
off,
it.
number 4. Change.
And let's see if Loughborough can have a bit more success at the line-out than Cardiff have had in these opening minutes of the second half.
Few club members hydrating ahead of Wednesday night there.
Oh, yes. So unless there's anything else.
Surprised he's still wearing that after the weekend.
Number 4, purple, change.
Unlucky you Red Roses. See, even he enjoyed the joke.
Oh, of course I did.
Damn big a fan club. Here go Loughborough, back inside the Cardiff 22. Change has been made.
Oh.
Max Hill back on.
He'll be raring to go.
McPherson, the target at the line-out again. Bailey adds his weight. Set there. Jamie Harding has it at the back, 5 metres short, stick into that left side.
Use it once, purple. Onside.
Strong defence here from Cardiff.
Yeah, very good. Here's Lewis. Dips the shoulder. Rod Wall brings him down 2 metres short. Little dart for the line by Bywater. That hit the line. Is the referee going to give it? Well, if he could see what we could see, Loughborough would be up to 15. Gallagher.
Move, Black, move.
17, should I say. My maths have let me down.
Onside.
That's It's hit the post though. Max Hill gets the try and Loughborough are back in it. It's 2 tries in 2 matches for the Loughborough captain, and it's Loughborough 17, Cardiff 26.
Oh, it's exact. Once again, Loughborough next points on board, and they've taken advantage of Cardiff making that decision to go into the corner, the far end.
Again, Lewis goes quickly, adds the extras, so Loughborough back within a converted score. The phase before Gallagher, the ball definitely touched the line, but as I said, the referee doesn't have the benefit of the shots that we do. But look at Max Hill underneath the base of the post.
Number 4, purple, change.
That's what he'll talk about tonight as well, the old base of the post.
Oh, certainly. No, it's
okay, as somebody else come on.
It's good awareness there from Max Hill. He's straight fresh off the bench. He's had a 10-minute rest. He's ready to go again, and we see that there.
Well, game on here. 12 minutes of the second half gone. It was 26 points to 5 at half-time, and Cardiff were cruising. Bywater claims that one.
You.
And now they're to within a converted score as
there we
Cruz
go, and
looks
here
to
they
put
go
width
again.
on it again. Charlie Hudson breaks through the first, can't get the offload away.
Didn't survive, 12 get out.
Bywater hits the line hard and eats a Cardiff shoulder for his trouble.
Tackle is made, the tackle's
Harding.
made.
There they go down the blind side. Bywater again.
He's been busy since he came on as Bywater, but concedes the penalty this time. And the chance for Cardiff
20, holding on
to get back into the Loughborough half.
And back in control of this game, because they certainly were in control of this game for most of the first half. But Loughborough bit back quite hard. But like you say, you can never doubt these boys. They're always ready up for a fight. So
Owen Williams finds a good touch just inside the Loughborough 22. Now, Peter Calvert, you've got one job and one job only this evening, and that is to give us the Yoti man of the match. This is your 22-minute warning. After 75 minutes,
you're on the mark at the minute.
I'm going to want you to tease us a little bit. Don't make it too obvious who you're going to pick, but ultimately you need to pick the Yoti player of the match, and we'll be presenting them with the medal at the end. Now, in a tight game like this, very often it's been the kiss of death, and we've awarded it to a player, and then there's been a last-minute score that's completely changed the result of the game as Austin Wallace comes back on. That's good news for Loughborough.
Hang on, you're not going till time's up.
no, it certainly is. That gives me the inclination to give it to.
Steady on.
No.
They need to
reset,
obviously.
There's been good players from either side, but like you say, there's plenty of rugby still to be played, and we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Ha, you tease. Cardiff back into the Loughborough 22, scoreless in the 15 minutes of the second half so far. Charlie Stonehill claims it this time. Better line out at the back for Cardiff, and now it starts to click, and now they march forward. That's 3 or 4 metres made already with Cameron Lewis there at the back, ably supported by Ed Thompson.
Detached.
Told to use it as Lewis detaches, 10 metres short on the left-hand side for Cardiff University. Everett waits, but Tom Wilson carries.
No, important test here for Loughborough to make sure that they can try and hold Cardiff out here.
Here's Seb Herald. Wallace back on the pitch, makes the tackle. James Davis. Pass behind for Hugh Roberts. 1 score for him already. Josh Lewis makes the tackle. 15 minutes gone of the second half. Cardiff yet to add to their ledger in this second period.
Yeah, once again, we're seeing this patience from this Cardiff side, playing their phases across the pitch, spreading that defence.
And as soon as Loughborough open up, you can be sure that Cardiff will take full advantage. Gareth Ansell with the carry. Here's James Davis again, in behind to Roberts. Here's Rod Wall out to the fullback. Owen Williams yet to get on the score sheet. Sam Roberts has to make the tackle, then covers the blind side. Again, Cardiff going through the phases. Jamie Harding flying out of the line to make the tackle on Alex Everett. This is patient work from Cardiff as Gareth Ansell goes through out of the back door. It's been dropped. Owen Davis fumbles it with the try line begging.
Do you think he saw his name up in lights there in the background?
What a line from Ansell. The offload was stunning as well.
I just couldn't quite go to hand there, but obviously, no, you can see that threat. Like we said, they just built the phases as they have done in the past. Oh, fantastic line. And they're left begging. Chucky Cruz, good chop tackle, because you could easily see Gareth Ansell going in there himself.
Especially against a diminutive defender like Cruz. He's punched above his weight there, but
certainly
Ansell did everything right.
And the captain's let him down. Oh, it's only one cheeky dig.
No, Peter Calvert making friends with the Cardiff boys, who are still 7 points to the good in what is essentially a last 16 match. Look at the pressure coming on from the scrum as well. Austin Wallace doing ever so well.
Onside, boys, stay onside. Yeah.
Well, they're going to need another Josh Lewis howitzer to get them out of trouble here. But instead, they keep the ball in hand. Stonehill and Thompson make the tackle. Will Lane calls them out, tells them where he wants them.
Is that Dan Cuthbert I see on there as well, number 19?
There is Lewis, puts boot to ball again. Up the tram lines, taken by Owen Williams. Chance for him to counter-attack, something he loves doing. Nonchalant pass from him, but George Thomas, for a second, looked like he was going through a gap there. Cardiff go up the blind side. Cameron Lewis, the replacement front rower, loses it again, and it was handling errors letting Loughborough down in the first 40 minutes. Cardiff, perpetrators of their own downfall in this 40.
You know, it's still the game's still very much in balance here. No, you can't put your finger on what either team's doing right or wrong here at the moment. It's really in the balance, and whatever team has the cool and collective head, like you said earlier, is going to win this. Obviously, Loughborough have all the work to do here at the moment, but Cardiff's not going to make it easy for them.
Well, Loughborough with the put-in, but they're in the wrong half as far as they're concerned. In between their own 10-metre and 22, and 22 minutes left of this BUCS Super Rugby match presented by Yoti.
Look at that ball just sit in the middle of that. Look at that pressure.
He's missed the ball.
Oh, he's missed the ball, and Cardiff are going to turn this one against the head. Could this be a big moment in the scheme of things? James Davis on the counter-attack. Wall. Owen Williams, he's got Ramage outside him. Such good footwork, and gets the offload away as well. Ramage incredibly quick off the mark. He's going to be up there for top try scorer this season, there or thereabouts. I imagine it'll depend on how far Cardiff can go in the playoffs. Short ball from Davis to Rod Wall. They bang in front of the sticks, 30 metres out.
Oh dear, what's right on the head?
Some real discomfort there.
He's gripping it hard. Didn't quite see what happened there, but I saw Andrew Bywater going over the top there, so I don't think it was anything malicious, but just an accidental knee possibly going over. But I'm sure we'll get a replay of this, or so I hope.
Well, you're putting the production team under pressure here, Peter. You can't come around to your first commentary barking out orders. But what we do know is Cardiff University already have a bonus point, and as it stands, they're in pole position to finish in the top 8. Let's have a look here. Lovely disguised pass. It was Hugh Roberts.
So I think it's Andrew Bywater here, number 20, coming through. Oh, he's screaming there. He's screaming there already.
Well, he was clutching his head, but it's actually maybe his left knee twisted. I don't like to speculate on these things, but perhaps the studs jammed in the grass.
Yeah, that's always a danger on a pitch like this. Yeah, it's often seen. No, it looks, yes, as you said, looks to be a knee, ankle, something like that. Oh.
We'll get a good look at it here. Well,
hopefully.
we might not.
Here we are.
There's the short pass. Archie McPherson makes the tackle. He twists around.
I think it's when Archie McPherson here goes over on his leg. Doesn't look pleasant in any way, shape or form. No, it's not something you like to see as any as a supporter or an opposition, you don't like to see that kind of thing happening.
Certainly not, especially for a player like Rod Wall. He's had a great season for Cardiff and some big games to come as well. They're still in the hunt for the playoffs. Well, they're in pole position for the playoffs. If they do get in 8th place, they'll be going to either Topsham or to the STV, depending on who wins the league. And of course, they've got their Welsh varsity at the Millennium Stadium on the 10th of April as well, and he'd love to be a part of that. That's a massive game, Cardiff versus Swansea, particularly because Swansea are going to be in with a shot of getting themselves to BUCS Super Rugby as well.
That's coincidentally who our BUCS 3s or BUCS 2s were playing today, actually.
I've not seen the score for that.
Swansea, a very convincing win in the end. After Loughborough leading 14-3 at half-time, went to lose 43-21.
Crikey.
Incredible. I think the boys it'll be a long journey home, but I'm sure I'll hear all about it when they get back here.
It is a long journey home from Swansea as well. It's absolutely miles away.
Well, no, us, the BUCS 3s, we were actually up in Aberdeen 3 weeks ago, and we went up there and got pummeled by them, so it's not...
It's not glamorous, that's for sure.
It's not at all, but you live and you learn.
Cardiff, good attacking position. Here's the captain, Owen Davis. Kicks that one through, dabs the corner as well. Smart play here from Cardiff, defending that one-score lead and putting the impetus on Loughborough to escape from their own 22. Still plenty of time in this one, though.
Oh, certainly. Well, it's creeping down to make this decision of mine, but...
You got 15 minutes yet.
15 minutes, so... Guys, you must play at the front 15 minutes. Stranger things have happened. We don't know what's come to it.
I remember the first BUCS Super Rugby game I commentated on as Loughborough need to clear their lines here. Here's Bywater again, a really keen ball carrier since he came on.
Strong position over the ball there from Cardiff.
Max Hill and Austin Wallace had to work very hard then to stop that turnover. There's Cuthbert. But yes, the first game I commentated on, we awarded Cy Linsell, Exeter captain, the man of the match, as Lewis wants to go here. And
Sam Roberts, that's a dangerous position to give Cardiff.
Certainly is. Ramage gets the ball back off Thomas, and here's James Davis. Good tackle made, but gets the offload away. Really is some player, Davis, but that's gone forward.
No, it's...
Anyway, long story short, we gave it to Cy Linsell. Hartbury scored, so we had to do the man of the match interview with a losing player, and then Hartbury went undefeated for the rest of the season and won the championship.
That was an incredible... it seems to be commentator's curse.
It's very real indeed. So a new look front row for Cardiff University here. Thompson and Lewis.
Jamie Cox making an appearance as well.
Final score from Durham. So Leeds Beckett get their 6th win in 7 games. Not a bonus point this time. Durham do get a bonus point though, so they move up to 48 points. Leeds Beckett on 46. Durham have got a game in hand as well, so maybe they're the favourites to get into the top 4 now, despite that defeat. But Leeds Beckett, God, who wants to play them at the moment? Is that a bad pass thrown? And Cardiff on the front foot. What a chance here for Hugh Roberts. Gets the offload away, and Marcus Ramage into the 22. Loughborough trying to be a bit too cute. And masters of their own undoing here.
Still in.
Charlie Stonehill adds his weight. Full-time score. Hartbury get the bonus point win, but it's 2 bonus points for Cardiff Met. They get 4 tries and they get within 1 score, so they move up to 50 points. Hartbury move up to 54 as Owen Williams moves into the 22, and Andrew Bywater makes a big tackle to chop him down. Here's James Davis, been knocked forward again. Now can Cardiff keep Loughborough in their own 22 as James Spencer puts boots a ball. That'll be advantage over, but there's no fullback home, so Loughborough can chase into the 22. God, feels like a horse race all of a sudden. Great chase.
Sam Roberts doing very well there to catch him in his own 22, but Cardiff seem well set here and they'll be able to exit.
Onside!
Breathless stuff. Referee makes sure Sam Garvey, scorer of Loughborough's first try of the second half, stays onside.
Well, certainly real life or death stuff here, isn't it?
Onside, boys, onside. Use it!
Owen Davis calms things down with a box kick. One for George Thomas to chase. Plenty of time here for Loughborough on the counter-attack is Josh Lewis. Step inside from Spencer, gets round a few, into the 22, shimmies one way then the other, doesn't get the offload away, looks so calm in possession, but it's out the side, and have Cardiff turned this over? Not quite. Spencer again cruises through, never looks like he hits full tilt.
Needed some support there as he made that break. There was very few bodies coming through to help him out. And like you said, Loughborough nearly lost that ball, but here comes Gallagher.
And here's Bywater again. Bumps off one, strong carry from him. Will Lane. Max Hill wants it, but he's not going to get it. Instead, cruises. It's a little bit slow motion. Was there an arm around the neck there? No, says the referee. Does seem to duck into contact, the Loughborough outside half. Patience required here. Similar position to the tries that they've scored already. Gallagher hits the line, ably backed up by Bywater.
Onside.
They're called back onside. Cardiff, great position here, great chance for Loughborough to equalise. They were down and out just before half-time. To score here would be a massive statement and would guarantee them at least a bonus point, which would keep them in the hunt for the top 8, regardless of what happens here. There are hands on the ball as Austin Wallace has to dig for it. Tom Wilson makes the tackle. Edge of your seat stuff here. Cruz needs to be careful not to be isolated. Stonehill gets driven off it. Loughborough being made to work hard here. Will Lane. Bywater has little Burrow himself.
There goes Max Hill again.
Look how tight in Loughborough are here. This is only going one way. Inches short now.
Can they find that base of the post again? Let's see.
Cardiff set. They know where it's going. They make the tackle.
There we are.
And the ball's been presented again. Loughborough need to be careful not to be turned over. This is heroic defence. Gallagher reaches for the line. Can't get there. Austin Wallace has his hands on it. Incredible disciplined defence here, and Loughborough go wide. Footwork from Aaron Tate. Gets tackled.
Oh, the ball's gone. Oh dear.
And there could be trouble here, but who's in it?
There's an aggressive blow of the whistle.
We've not spoken about community yellow cards, okay? We're just going side to side. You're slowing the ball down there. No more in here, okay? Number 4, clear release, please.
Charlie Stonehill getting a stern talking to there from referee Owen Taylor.
It'll be an interesting choice here. Well, they're going to the corner. I would think that would be an easy 3 points, but and then the opportunity to score a try with 10 minutes to go.
Stay down there.
But Loughborough backing themselves here, so it's exciting to see.
Dave Fellows takes a seat.
Well, he's had a big shift, hasn't he? Well, I'm not sure if there's anybody on the bench, if they brought a travelling reserve or anything. So he's been in for a big shift here already.
Well, he wouldn't have expected to play 80 minutes today.
Not at all.
Second clean break from Spencer. Looks so dangerous, and you alluded to it in the first half. He never really looks like he's gathering pace, but he just gets that momentum. He drifts around defenders.
Certainly, no, he's just he's almost looking for support there, but it's not. He never has it. But then you'd like to see him maybe try and back himself a little bit there and try and go up into that 5th gear and go for it. But
Loughborough 19, Cardiff 26. Cardiff guaranteed the bonus point just before half-time, with the second Thomas try converted by James Davis. After half-time, Garvey scored when Loughborough still had 14 on the pitch. Lewis added the extras. Then Max Hill picked up his second try in 2 games. Again, Lewis added the extras from under the sticks. Cardiff finding themselves under pressure when it looked like they were home and hosed. Jamie Cox, replacement hooker, on for Jamie Harding, and put in a great shift himself. Archie McPherson with the claim. Advantage coming for Loughborough here. So they've got a free shot at it, and they're marching towards the line. It hits the deck, still advantage coming. So Will Lane at the base finds Sam Garvey. He's driven backwards, but no advantage coming.
Oh, he's not looking happy here, the referee.
Early contact.
Well, a couple of stern words had here at the last few decisions made by Owen Taylor.
And Cardiff needing to be careful here because they could be spending the last 10 minutes with 14 men, which in a tight game like this could spell disaster, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, in the period where Loughborough were down to 13, Cardiff did win that exchange, but Loughborough managed to get that score just after half-time, which took the sheen off a little bit.
Certainly.
This is the kind of game where discipline could have a huge part to play, as Archie McPherson
It's going backwards, use it once.
Calls it forwards, and now it starts to march forwards. The referee has told them to use it once. It's marching towards the line. It is the 4th try. It's the bonus point, and Cardiff have had their lead cut to just 2 points with a conversion to come. It's Jamie Cox who dots down. He's only just on the pitch and he's already made an impact. It's Loughborough 24, Cardiff 26 with a kick to come.
Got about 10.
And you hear the referee saying there 10 minutes to go. So, and with a kick to come, and the team's drawing, it could be a very, very interesting final few and a very difficult choice for a man of the match.
Are you already trying to shirk this responsibility?
Well, I'd prefer, it's the hardest decision I've made in a while, to be honest.
Well, what an important kick this is.
Indeed.
Josh Lewis. He's kicked 2 from under the sticks. He hit the post after Austin Wallace dotted down in the first half. This to level proceedings. And he's missed it to the right-hand side.
Oh, still plenty to play for here. No, well, they've managed to reduce, even with that Ansel nearly going under the sticks, they've managed to nil Cardiff in this second half, which has been incredibly important and a very strong fight back. But let's hope, as a pundit from a Loughborough side, I'm looking for that fire to come through in the final few.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. This is the biggest 10 minutes of both Loughborough and Cardiff seasons. The winner in pole position to get to the playoffs. The loser has a dead rubber next week, pretty much.
We'll deal with it when we get to it.
Cardiff University have not had nearly the joy in the second half that they had in the first. As Peter Calvert pointed out, they've been nilled in this second half. Archie McPherson makes a good carry there, straight into Cameron Lewis. He's not spent a lot of time on the ball. He's been good in the line-out.
There we go, Loughborough once again, that.
Loughborough trying to force it. It's gone backwards. They're trying to get the ball to James Spencer. They do, but not the way they wanted to. And he runs heftily into Alex Everett. Big number 7 looked like he enjoyed that. Max Hill with the carry.
Leave it 9.
Again, 2 big collisions from Cardiff.
No, it's a real decision maker here. Do you kick and try and put pressure on the line out, or what do you do? Well, it looks like Will Lane's going for a box kick here. Needs to get it out here. It needs to go out to get that pressure on the line out. We know how dangerous this back 3 of Cardiff are.
Absolutely. Now, if the full-time whistle were to go now, Cardiff would pick up 5 points that would take them to 33. Loughborough would pick up 2 points, which would take them to 29, meaning Loughborough would have to beat Bath away, bearing in mind Bath will be trying to win the championship next week, and Cardiff will have to get something at Exeter, which will be the televised game. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff. I know you're used to joining us later on in the evening on these BUCS Super Rugby Wednesday nights, but it'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff down at Topsham for what could well be Exeter.
And here goes McPherson.
Oh, Charlie McPherson bursts through again. Charlie Stonehill unable to secure the line out. This is what Loughborough wanted with the bit between their teeth. Aaron Tate taken towards the line but manages to stay in play. Referee wants to keep them offside. Well, Archie McPherson loving the ball in hand all of a sudden after a quiet 70 minutes.
Spencer manages to hold on there. Has
that gone forward? No, says the referee. Loughborough really hitting lines hard here. Max Hill, the latest to join the party. Has it been turned over? Yes, and turned over again. It's a real bun fight. Somebody's going to have to dig for it, and it's going to be Josh Lewis.
There's a tight carry from Andy Bywater.
Rooks are forming, boys, no hands.
James Gallagher gets missed out. Spencer tries to throw that dummy again. He almost tries to go through the gap sideways. Cruz.
No hands now!
A few obstacles in the way of our vision here at Loughborough.
Certainly.
Cruz, Josh Lewis, no real room for him, so Sam Roberts
didn't survive.
Has to secure the ball. Lane. There's Hill again. Oh, massive shot on Hill from Carrie Davis. Sends him backwards, but he's able to present the ball cleanly. Spencer again throws the dummy. McPherson. Here is Gallagher with the carry. Takes some stop in, the laws of physics say.
Turnover's fine, first man.
But he's been turned over. No. Massive turnover as well. Cardiff absorb the pressure. 6 minutes to go on our clock. Just a reminder that it's not guaranteed.
What a kick.
And that's a huge kick. We do try and stay as close as we can. Oh, what is that from Alex Cruz? Really puts Charlie Hudson in trouble.
Everybody stand.
And now they've given the ball back in play.
Owen Davis gets to run at a broken field.
It's backwards.
It's gone backwards and Max Hill secures it.
No,
well, neither of these teams are able to keep hold of the ball, but Cardiff are where they want to be. Loughborough have got 80 minutes between them and the score. Or 80 metres, should I say, between them and the score. And again, they've kept it in play, so Owen Williams can find James Davis, and Cardiff can come again. Surely a try here would seal it for the visitors. Harry Griffiths, who's on for Marcus Ramage for the last few minutes.
Thank you.
Again, in a couple of minutes' time, we'll be asking you for your man of the match. But Cardiff come again. Carrie Davis, 5 minutes to go. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Stunning game of rugby here. We'll let you have a few more minutes, seeing as this one's in the balance. Seb Herald. Alex Everett for Cardiff, just running down the clock. And now they go wide. George Thomas, he's got 2 tries already. He's put out into touch.
He's on the mark. About 3-4 minutes.
Okay, we've got a break in play. We can get our breath back. But Peter Calvert, still minutes to go. The result in the balance. But who's impressed you today? And ultimately, who is your Yoti man of the match?
Well, starting off with the Loughborough side, like I'd said at the start of the game, it'll be interesting in the back row, and I was proven right by Austin Wallace, who has been ferocious throughout his time on the pitch. We've had Will Lane, a very solid game at 9, and James Spencer certainly weaving his way through. And I would have to say on Cardiff's front, the whole pack has been impressive. Switching Dave Fellows coming on and doing a huge shift for his boys. But man of the match today has to be the number 11, George Thomas.
Well, he's currently receiving some medical treatment and getting a well-deserved rest. 2 tries for him. He's looked dangerous every time he's got the ball in hand, and he is the well-deserved man of the match today.
Certainly, no, he's impressed me with and he's ably been aided by his two men in the backfield, especially Owen Williams, to give him that offload for the second try. No, so it's. Oh, he's unfortunately off, but he's given quite a shift there today, but we'll just have to wait and see how the result kicks out. But well done, sir. Well played.
Great shift for him. Will his 2 tries be enough to see Cardiff over the line? Archie McPherson gets rumbled this time, but it's picked up by Will Lane. You mentioned him having a solid game at 9. It looks like he's going to play all 80. Tom Walsh isn't going to get a sniff. Very rarely do we see that again. Gallagher gets driven backwards in the contact zone, but manages to present the ball this time, something he was unable to do before. Jamie Cox, scorer of the bonus point try for Loughborough. The try that really, despite the result against their favour, keeps their hopes of the top 8 alive. Lewis runs into trouble. Sean O'Brien off the bench for Cardiff, wearing number 22. It's pretty much an empty bench for Cardiff now, as we can see Seb Herald there wearing number 19, but Alex Everett still making the tackles from 7 for the visitors. Here's Hill. Spencer.
Always dangerous.
No hands!
They've managed to close him down recently. No, he hasn't. He's been trying to find that gap, but he hasn't quite got there.
Cox with another carry. Our clock ticks towards 77 minutes, and Cruz decides he's had enough of being in his own half, and he kicks it straight down the throat of Owen Williams, who gets around the man who kicked the ball, Cruz, and puts the footwork on as well. Cardiff with the offload, and here's Tom Wilson up to the 22. It was a good chase from Cruz, but you can't miss tackles like that. Seb Herald puts Cardiff back in the box seat. Alex Everett must be running on fumes. His engine has been non-stop since the first whistle. Davis calms things down. A couple of minutes to go. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Can Cardiff see this out? It's been an onslaught from Loughborough in the second half. Charlie Stonehill with the carry. Gareth Ansell at number 8, another one who's been relentless.
Just under 2 minutes.
Well, we've heard from the referee there, just under 2 minutes. Jamie Cox making the tackle.
Oh, if Loughborough want to have a shot, they need to get the ball back now, but I don't think Cardiff are going to cough it up all that easily.
Well, we saw how disciplined they were in the first half. That's a loose pass backwards, says the referee.
All backwards.
You just get the feeling it's their day today. There were a few of those leading up to tries in the first half.
Certainly is.
And Max Hill asking the referee for something.
Use it.
But Owen Taylor tells him exactly what he thinks of it, so we're into the last minute now. Cardiff grinding this one down.
Does it look like maybe trying to shape up for a drop goal just to take Loughborough out of it?
Well, it would be some effort, because the pass is about to go back to the halfway line. But James Davis kicks it out. Is that full time? Yes, it is! Cardiff get the bonus point win, and they are in pole position for the playoffs. But it's been one of the games of the season, and once again, BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti, comes up with the goods. It was a comeback from Loughborough. They were 19 points down at half-time. They nilled Cardiff in the second half. They picked up 2 bonus points, but it wasn't enough on the day. It is another win for the men from the Welsh capital. Full-time here, Loughborough 24, Cardiff 26. And Peter Calvert, disappointing for your guys, but a fantastic advert for BUCS Super Rugby.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. You can't deny the standard that came out of the boys tonight. Both sides, handling errors prominent in both teams. Line out not always going their way, but the determination of this Cardiff side has impressed me hugely this evening. They never seem to give up, and their patience in the 22 to be able to execute, and then their patience carrying in the forwards and then spreading it out the backs, and they seem to be sure-handed enough in the 22 to cross over more than enough times.
Well, they picked up a couple of injuries to Rod Wall and George Thomas. We'll be getting some post-match reaction from Alan Wynne-Davis and the man of the match, George Thomas. But let's take a look at the results. Oh, some brilliant games there. Bath with a bonus point win away at Exeter, keeping their championship hopes alive. Nottingham Trent taking the race for 10th place down to the final week, but Northumbria picking up 2 bonus points there. Cardiff Met rallying late to keep their top 4 aspirations alive, but Hartbury still just about in the hunt. Leeds Beckett make it 6 wins from 7, and as we've just seen here, Cardiff University get getting over the line. Nottingham Trent, they're still at the foot of the table with 2 games to go. Loughborough still not out of jail yet, but at the same time they're still in the hunt for the top 8. However, going to Bath next week and picking up a bonus point win is a big ask.
Huge, especially like with Bath, with that huge win at Exeter today. There's a big call, there's a big expectation to go down there away and try and get a win off them, because they'll be going for the title.
Well, there are Cardiff, exhausted, leaving the field with another away win. One of the question marks over them was, could they do it away from home? And they've proved today, boy oh boy, yes they can.
Yes.
And we'll see them next week as well. This is the big one, a win for Exeter and they will lift the trophy, a win for Cardiff and they will seal 8th place. Join us at Topsham at 2 p.m, an early kickoff, something for you to enjoy on a Wednesday afternoon. So we've got some highlights from Hartpury versus Cardiff Met last week. We'll be back very shortly with some live post-match reaction from Alan Wynne-Davies and George Thomas. But until then, enjoy the highlights. We'll speak to you shortly.
A big factor in that.
Yeah, he's Angus Sutherland's very much a line-out lord. He's looks at them, I'd say, most of his spare time. So massive loss for the pack and certainly an influential leader within that. So let's see.
Well, it's taken cleanly there, and they managed to smuggle the ball to the back. The last man I saw with his hands on it was big Luke Boone, and Hartpury have a nudge on. They're continuing to motor towards the line, and it's a try for the home side. The first of the match, one for the forwards, one for the set-piece coaches, and that is a dream start for Hartpury. Well, dream pressure as Hartpury go to the back and find Ben Kellen. They build that driving maul that yielded them the success, the try from last time. They break away. They're 5 metres short. Ben George flings it to Nathan Chamberlain, who goes, weaves. They're 2 metres out. George finds quick ball again. Finds Clementson, who puts the footwork in and gets across the line for Hartpury's second try of the evening. The scrum stable this time, but Met begin to take authority on it, and Alan Ward picks up the ball and charges forward. Big double hit in the midfield. Hartpury not committing many men to the rucks at the moment as Met make a breakthrough. Will Gibson.
Come on.
Bennett
Let's go.
plays it out wide to the winger, inside to the man we were speaking about moments ago. George Gladding is there on the inside to open the scoring for Cardiff Met with their first try of the game.
That's a fantastic try. Exactly what I said before the start of the game. You give Cardiff Met the space to exploit, they will take it, and a very well finished try.
Yeah, I've got it. You have a picture first side for me?
Very well finished try indeed. It was all about Russell Bennett's pass. He fizzed it, missing out 3 men to Zach Cloud. George Gladding running the trailing support line left. Jack Johnson with no chance and an easy canter in for Gladding. Finish with a try. Can they really get themselves back into this game? It's a big shot from Clementson on Samuel, but he rides it. And now they carry through Tom Pearson. One of the new faces in this Met side through injury, Harvey Scott. A stalwart, the confrontational Harvey Scott. Again, the ball is fizzed out wide. And Lewis rolls across the line to get Met right back in this fixture and shock Hartpury late in the day in this first half.
Yeah, fantastic time to score for Met. Obviously a bit of a slow start to the first half, but they've brought themselves back into it now. Heading into the league is exactly the time you want to score, so get your tails up for the second half.
Absolutely ideal time. Some great work down the right flank, followed by some grunt work by the back row, a powerful running back row. And Met getting so much purchase from these missed passes, fizzed across the front with runners bursting. Again, a botched kickoff puts Hartpury under pressure immediately. Ben George falls on it. Hartpury have done well to clear it up, get men round it. But these mistakes will be driving Sean Lynn mad. And Hartbury are 5 metres from their line. With Ben George boxing, but it's charged down, and Eduardo Beloco is first on it. And that is a dream start for Cardiff Met, a nightmare for the home team. Oh, a set play, one straight from the training park, sees Hartbury charge down the right wing. They're stopped 10 metres short. And the momentum's all with them. Irvin Murick steps into the line, trundles over the first attacker, and nobody can stop the swerve, the cannonball. And you see him amped up there right after dotting down. It is Hartbury 32, Cardiff Met 22. Like a thief in the night, comes away with it. And Met continue to give 100%. They continue to throw the ball around. They go left to Zach Clow, who fumbles. Gladding picks up, steps inside.
No release, Red! Red release. It's your own man here.
Samuel plays scrum half. He's impressed since coming on early in the first half. It looks like it's going to be in a losing cause, and currently beyond the realms of any bonus point. They trail by 15. They only have 3 tries. It seems like scant reward for a decent performance where they've been well in the game. And as they continue to force it late in the day, Jack Johnson plucks the ball from the night sky.
From Tom Everard tonight, been everywhere.
Left is the order of the day. Wonderful footwork from James Mattin. So much so he's left 2 boots in his wake.
I think they're Harry Wilson's.
As Met drive, and finally they break through the red wall that has been impervious for the last 20 minutes. Dishu, a couple of would-be defenders. Can he add a couple of points to his tally? Yes, he can. He signals the end of the evening, an absorbing evening's rugby, where Hartbury raced into a 17-point lead before Cardiff Met came roaring back. 22-17 they led after 22 unanswered points, but Hartbury did what they do best.
Full time here at Loughborough University, and Cardiff have done it 26-24, which brings me nicely on to this man here. You're trying to keep you smiling. Big question mark over your team is, could you do it away from home? And I think you answered this evening. It's a resounding yes.
Oh, it's massive. It's been difficult for us, and like you know, in this league it is very difficult to go on the road to win, so I think the guys deserve that. We've had a few close shaves, I said, like the Northumbria game, so I'm chuffed for them. Not so much that, just the context around the game and what the last couple of weeks for the second block has looked like. So they worked so hard tonight, to be fair. We've got a second half voodoo at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but we'll address that. But the first half, we set out to achieve 2 marker goals. The first half we achieved it before that we thought we would achieve it, so which is great, and then we flipped it into another goal. So absolutely brilliant. I'm absolutely chuffed for them.
That's an away win. What's that move you up to here? 33 points. Loughborough did pick up those 2 bonus points, so they're on 29. So provided they get a bonus point victory against Bath next week, which is a big ask down at the STV, you just need 1 point at Topsham and you'll become the first team to get promoted and then make it to the last stage of the competition. You spoke to me earlier in the year about aims and objectives for the season. Was that one of them?
Absolutely not. If I'm being perfectly honest, we all sat down. We have to put things into context here. We haven't got a sports degree in the university. I'll be shot for saying this, but we are massively underfunded in comparison to other universities. I haven't stolen a ball yet. I tried every away game I tried, because that's the level we are. But if what we've got as a group has been fantastic. Our clear goal was to come up and stay up, similar to, you look at what they're doing in the English Premiership at the moment with Bristol coming up. That's their goal. As a byproduct of it, we're looking like we're in 8th, which is fantastic. But to me, that is a byproduct of doing something positive this year on top of what we've already done. I dare say a lot of points went begging at the first part of the season, but we didn't have a 9, 10, 12. We were rotating things because of injuries, and we have got a small squad. So, yeah, as a byproduct, it's great. But as you said, that was tough tonight.
Now, you have guaranteed safety now. With your bonus point win there today, Nottingham Trent cannot catch you. So that's objective 1. Exeter have lost 2 games in a row at home. If the league stays as it is, of course, you travel there next week, which should be a dress rehearsal for the last 4. They've shown they're fallible at Topsham. The BUCS final is on the 10th of April. The Welsh varsity is also on the 10th of April. Somebody at the Brains Trust has really dropped the ball there. What would happen in the event that you reached the big time at Twickenham?
That's a difficult question to answer. Before we even look at that, we've always said that in regards to the last 3 games, we were sort of looking at, right, Nottingham have to go to Hartpury twice, or they have to play them twice there. We always say we row our own boat. We want to row our own boats, and we want to control our own destiny. By winning tonight, we've done that. Mathematically, if we hadn't, then that amazing win against Northumbria today, they actually were in a position to do something. So that's it. That's all we care about now, and we'll take each game as it comes. Us go, and if we do finish 8th, that's a great opportunity for the guys. There's a few games to potentially Twickenham. But do you mean in our first year, I said that we just wanted to qualify and to stay and not be relegated. And as a byproduct of that, who knows?
Who knows indeed. Right, I know you're from Neath, so being in shorts isn't a problem, but I won't keep you in the cold for too long. We'll present the man of the match to George Thomas shortly, but who else impressed you 1 to 23 this evening for your boys?
That's a difficult one. George had a fantastic game in the back of what we tried to do. We had a lot of bumps from last week as well, so a lot of the guys barred up and really put a shift. I thought Owen Williams at 15 had to really steady the ship. James Davis, we spoke this week about. I know David Lakin's been having a pop with you guys in there, but it is calculated. But the parts aren't calculated. That's what you call a good 10. Do you mean? So you're reading the game. So I thought he had a good game, a better game really in regards to challenging the line and doing his own thing. Do you mean? And not just worrying about us in regards from a game plan. That's something that we tried challenging him today. But the scrum went well. Again, we lost our tight head in the warm up, and we made a few replacements there. And it's difficult to point out. But I said with George having man of the match, I think it's well deserved.
2 tries for George. Let's get you in, and hopefully we'll talk about this injury that won't be too serious. You've got your Yoti medal. I'll let you get in the warm, Alan. Congratulations. First things first, you've got an ice pack there and you went off clutching that left hand. Is it serious?
No, I don't think it's too serious. I think it's just a bit of a stinger, you know, just one of them with breakthrough at the end, just stuck an arm out, took a bit of a knock, but no, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully it's just a stinger.
Well, let's look down the line at that corner that you scored your 2 tries in. It was only a couple of minutes before that you got dumped on your backside that led to a Loughborough yellow card, but you responded incredibly well. 2 great wingers tries.
Yeah, obviously happy with the 2 finishes in the first half, but it was a hell of a performance from the boys, you know, to respond to them 2 yellow cards, them down to 13. We were clinical when we needed to be. So yeah, with them 2 finishes, that puts us in a good position for the second half then.
You need 1 point against Exeter to become the first team to get promoted, then reach the last 8. That is some achievement for a team like you boys. You've built on this season some great performances. You've shown that you can do it away now. Must be a great spirit amongst the lads.
Yeah, it's a great spirit. I mean, first half of the season we probably wouldn't have been able to hold this game out because we lacked experience in the Super League. But I think as the season's gone on, we've gelled, we've come into it, and I feel like today really showed how far we've come, to be honest.
Well, huge congratulations. You are the man of the match. I'll let you get in the warm. Hopefully you'll be back in the starting lineup next week against Exeter, and we'll see you then. But congratulations. Finally, let's bring in the Vice Chairman. Congratulations to him. Difficult night for Loughborough this evening. They've left it so late so many times this season. They were so close to getting it over the line, but now they're up against it. And really, it's a disappointing season for the BUCS first team.
Oh, it certainly is. No, it's the lads. They really rallied themselves tonight, and as they've done most of the season. Like we say, this league, anything can happen. Like we saw today with Bath and Exeter, but really, it's where we move on from here, and it's not just thinking about next week when we go up against Bath and we're trying to upset them, but it's where we go and how we build for next season and what our aims are. So it's all about growth and making sure that the lads, they take this experience and they know what it's like to be in the depths of a game and try and dig deep. They almost had it this evening, but they weren't quite there, but it's definitely an experience that they can learn from and push on to next year.
Well, they managed to get the 2 bonus points to keep them just about in the hunt. It's been a pleasure to have your company this evening. We have a live match for you next week. Cardiff are closing in on 8th place. They need 1 point against Exeter. Exeter need a victory to guarantee themselves the league for the 2nd time in a row. From Peter, from myself and everyone at BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti, huge congratulations to Cardiff, who've taken a massive stride to getting into the last 8 of this fantastic competition. We'll see you next week. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff, remember, not an evening one. Exeter hosting Cardiff. Until then, goodbye.
It was so much easier because I had already set up from the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.